Mary Bray. I consider myself an entrepreneur and have been involved in the real estate business for over 40 years. For the past year, I've been looking at real estate opportunities around the world. I've spent quite a bit of time in the Middle East, especially Kuwait, but I've never had the opportunity to see other Middle Eastern countries. I'd heard about Oman, which is a country not far from Kuwait, so when I had the opportunity to visit, I jumped at the chance to discover a very special corner of Arabia. Oman occupies the southeast corner of the Arabian Peninsula, bounded by Africa to the far west and India to the far east. It's on the same stretch of land as Yemen, United Arab Emirates, and Saudi Arabia. Although it faces the Arabian Sea, most of the country is desert. I landed in the capital city of Muscat. Muscat is a beautiful city of white buildings, rich in culture and history. When you hear about the Gulf states, you think of oil, OPEC, and wealthy sheiks. Yet Oman is much more than oil or even desert. It is a country of ancient cultures.
Excuse me, are you Miss Mary?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm Nasser from Bahwan Tours.
Glad to meet you.
Me too.
My guide for the trip was Nasser. He wore traditional Omani clothing, as all Omanis are required to wear in public. He was going to show me the market in Muscat, which was called the Souk.
So we are here now in the Souk. It's one of the biggest souk in Muscat here. In 15th century, Muscat, it was the most important point here between the Africa and Asia.
What are these things called?
Well, this is we call it Omani khanjar here. Actually, it's made from silver. This khanjar have got the knives inside it. They use to dance with this knife.
Oh dear.
Yeah. When
Sounds dangerous.
Yeah, it sounds dangerous. The people they used to stand all together and dance with this khanjar, which we call Omani traditional dance with the khanjar. And they used to, all the Omani people, they have to wear this khanjar.
Eyes.
Yeah.
And do you know how to dance with the
Yes.
knife? Oh,
every
do you?
Omani know how to dance this khanjar.
Really?
And every Omani have got here his own khanjar.
Oh.
Because every traditional things or wedding, you have to wear this khanjar.
There are many exotic herbs and spices available. What intrigued me the most was frankincense, something I'd heard about in the Bible.
Here you can see this is the frankincense and incense shop here. And the people they used to burn the frankincense to keep the good smell of the house.
Oh, yes.
You can smell it, how it smells. Very good smell.
It's very sweet.
Very sweet.
Is Oman the only place in the world that frankincense can grow?
There is only 3 countries, Oman, Yemen, and Somalia.
Even today?
Even today.
And how much would it cost for this good
This
quality
one,
little
the
bag?
good quality, it
About.
will take about $1.50.
Oh, that's a pretty
$1.50.
good deal.
Yes.
We should take
$1.50.
some home. Nasser, why are all the houses white?
To keep the country it's more beautiful with the mountains and with some plantation around here. And Oman, it's very hot country in the summer. Even the white color actually to keep cool inside the houses also.
Oman is filled with many ancient forts because it was strategically located on the old trade route between Africa and Asia.
This is a Nakhal fort, which is built in before the Islam, and it is one of the famous forts here in Oman. Can you take your off shoes, please? Yeah. Okay, why you don't sit here?
Thank you.
So this is the majlis, only for the men, and they're sitting to visit the wali.
Oman is a sultanate, which means it's ruled by one man, Sultan Qaboos. When he was young, he was kept in isolation in the royal palace until his studies led him to England. When he returned, he was again placed in isolation until 1970, when he led a peaceful revolt against his father. Sultan Qaboos is credited with bringing Oman into the modern world. It was nearing the end of the day, and Nasser invited me to his home for dinner, which was a real honor for me.
So this is my grandfather's house?
You sure it's okay that we go in?
Yeah, it's okay.
All right.
Yep. This is my family, you can meet them. Assalamu alaikum. This is my mother. This is my auntie. My young uncle. And my other is auntie. And this is also my uncle. Okay,
I was
this is my
formally
little uncle.
introduced to his family, which included aunts, uncles, and cousins.
And you have chicken curry, boiled chicken, fish.
The women were shy and didn't want to
Chicken
eat
and
with
dal.
us.
Okay, so we're going to use our hand and you by hand. Sorry about that.
No problem. We sat on the floor and the food was wonderful, some of the best I've ever had. Your mom makes all of this food?
Yes, mostly my mom and help from my sister and my auntie.
It's very good. Excellent.
Thank you.
And you have French fries too, huh?
French fries, yes.
Yes. I want to get the little boy. Okay. Okay. Well, it was a memorable day. It was a chance to see this beautiful country and to get to know the people better. The next day, I would learn even more about this fascinating place that was Oman. There are coastal towns of Oman where the catch is brought in at dawn. Most of the fishing in the Gulf is still done on traditional wooden boats called dhows. Fishermen spread out fish on the sand where merchants can inspect them and make their bids. And everybody rushes to get the fish to the market or into freezers before the heat of the day sets in. In the capital, there's a large fish market.
We have around 150 edible fish here in Oman. Now this is the season which is more of the white fish. And here will come kingfish and small tuna fish and the big tuna fish. This is the
that's
tuna
a big
fish.
tuna.
Yeah, and this one we call it hamur and very famous here in Oman.
Yes.
Even in the restaurant and in the hotel you
Yes,
can get it.
tastes good,
It
huh?
tastes very, very good.
Oh, yes. Well, we'll have to have one of those for dinner. Huh?
Yeah, sure you can have it.
Oh my God, these are very exotic looking. Look at these here, aren't they interesting? It looks like they shouldn't be fishing them. They're very exotic looking. How much for the tuna? Do you think that's a good deal?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. So you can bargain also. You can
You
get
can
it.
bargain some?
Yeah, bargain.
Oh, no, I'm not good at it,
2
you
riyal,
know.
300, 2 riyal, 200.
While we were at the fish market, Nasser introduced me to something typical of everyday Omani life. Coffee served in small cups, usually flavored with things like cardamom.
Not very hot. It's okay.
Very nice. From the fish market, we drove towards the mountains. In Oman, there's always a different view around the corner. The beauty of the landscape is breathtaking. Rugged landscapes, sweeping deserts, and green oases. The desert in Oman isn't always flat. There are several mountain ranges, as barren as they are majestic. Crossing the mountains was spectacular. They shimmer in the haze and seem to change colors constantly. I thought it was humorous to see signs warning us not to hit the camels, and sure enough, we saw some along the roadway. I found it funny in this day and age to see wandering camels in the desert, and so we decided to take a look. Well, these camels seem really tame. Are they wild, or what do they do with them?
Mostly they're using them now for milk and meat.
I've never heard of camel milk.
And,
is it good?
Yes, it's good.
Really?
And very healthy also.
Oh, yes?
It's very healthy.
Yeah.
Drink it only fresh.
Okay. So that's why we never hear of camel milk in the store. But the farmers and their family drink it. A few kilometers away was a local sheep and camel market, busy and chaotic, with colorful buyers and sellers. It was quite interesting to see how they hoisted a camel onto the back of a pickup truck. This was the more organized side of the market. Inside, it was quite chaotic, with sheep and goats of all sizes. They were also selling more than sheep and goats, and the men wore their ceremonial daggers. Look at that beautiful goat with the fancy horns. It's a nice goat, huh? Is he yours?
Yes.
Yes. You speak English?
Yes.
Good. He's a beautiful goat. So you're going to sell him?
Yes.
Oh no. Look at this one, black and white. This is a serious business. The goats are paraded past the buyers who don't seem to mind all the noise and chaos. They certainly have a great variation of goats and sheep and colors and everything. What's the matter? 20 real? Oh yes. Oh well, he's absolutely worth it. Let's take him.
I don't want them, I have enough.
Oh yes, he wants to come home with me. Bye. Bye.
It's all very cheap.
Oh yes. Most expensive camel. How much did you get for him?
يقول لك أغلى بوش بعت بكم؟ أغلى ناقة بعت بكم؟
واللي هلا 500 400.
We have two types of camels, racing and for the meat and milk. The racing, it's around 70,000 Real Omani.
That's pretty expensive, isn't it?
Yes. And the meat, it's around 500, 600 Real Omani.
Oh, okay. I guess racing camels are worth more than eating camels.
Yes. Most of them, they are coming from Emirates to buy this camel. That's why it became more expensive. And the people, they like it more for race that side.
It's awfully hot for them to be racing, isn't it?
No, it depends on the time also.
Oh yes,
for the winter.
of course. Yeah. In the winter it's cooler. So do you ride on your camel? Does he ride on his camel?
يقول لك روحك تسافر مع الجوش تركبين الجوش انت. For racing, they used to take the children.
Oh, the
race.
children?
Yes.
Oh my God, they might fall off though.
The man, he will be happy.
Oh.
And before he was doing that when he was a kid.
Oh, when he was.
And youngest done this.
Oh, so are you a camel jockey?
No,
Is he
he's not his children. His
Oh,
children.
it's not. Oh, his children. After the chaos of the camel and goat market, we decided to slow down the pace by visiting the coastal city of Souk. One of the oldest forms of craftsmanship still practiced in Oman today is the making of the wooden dhows. Although dhows are no longer used for travel and have engines rather than sails, they're still in wide use.
It's handmade.
They're beautifully designed. They look like really strong boats.
Yes, it's really strong because of thick wood.
It's not natural in Oman.
No, it's not natural here.
There are no blueprints. The workers know exactly what to do. Everything is measured and fitted to perfection. In the past, before they had nails, the planks were stitched together with coconut fiber, then painted with animal oils. The dhows are still painted with shark oil today, and it's quite smelly. I took a little ferry across the harbor just in time to watch the sunset. It's a magical time as the breeze picks up and chases away the heat. While riding in the boat, I remembered the story of Sinbad the sailor, whose exploits were detailed in the Arabian Nights. He was said to be a famous navigator from Oman. While sailing to the far ends of the earth was not my destination, I could see how traveling in these ships would lead one to write about swashbuckling sailors and Arabian adventures. I looked forward to the next day when I'd be getting my own adventure in the desert. During the next day on my trip to Oman, Nasser and I decided to visit the Bedouins in the desert. The Bedouins are an independent people who lead a nomadic lifestyle roaming the Arabian desert. We came across a small settlement. The women and children were beautifully dressed with silk and wraps. It wasn't what you would expect from people in the desert.
Nasser, I need your help. We need a translator.
Do you like the goats?
Yes, a lot. They're so cute.
ما يبين عليها أنا سنة 60 والله يبين.
61 عمرها.
ها؟
61 عمرها.
ما يبين عليها كانت صغيرة.
You said you're still young.
Me?
Yes.
Oh.
The women were covered as much for modesty as to protect them against the sun. The men wore long flowing robes with headdresses. The way the men tied their headdress determines what regions they're from.
Very easy for you.
Take photo with the mask.
With me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
With the mask, with the photo.
Yeah.
Yes. يعنيكم عشان
I have the whole outfit.
Take off your.
Oh, yes. Okay. What do you call these things?
والله حلوة.
برقع.
Baka?
برقع.
Baka?
برقع.
Burga.
Yes.
Burga.
Face on. بعد هيك
I'm going to wear it for the rest of the tour.
I was surprised the veil was cool because it was light and gauzy. I think the opinion we have of women who are covered is that they're being hidden or suffocated in those veils, but it's just the opposite because the veils are cool and protect them from the heat.
Beautiful girls, yes.
They invited
I love
me
your
into their home.
dresses, too.
It was made of dried palms with a straw roof.
Oh, it's beautiful and cool in here. Hi, baby. Hi.
sweet.
Wonderful.
They offered me coffee and dates, and I was interested in knowing about their lifestyle.
Do you do your cooking in here?
Yes, they have a kitchen outside.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
But they don't cook inside. They cook outside.
It depends. Sometimes they're cooking inside the kitchen. It's like room. It's same.
So it's a separate
inside.
room.
Sometimes outside. Yes.
Okay.
So actually, this room they're using it to sleep and to sit.
Okay. So it's like a living room.
Living
sleeping
rooms.
room.
Yes.
Do you all live in here, in this house, or somebody lives in? They all live in the other houses.
هذه في وقت الفراغ عبارة ما عندهم شغل.
So they are in different houses, but
Okay.
every morning when they don't have work, so they're going to meet and sit here in this house.
Oh, so they have a little meeting.
Yes.
That's nice. How many children? Who are these children? Who do they belong to? These two are yours.
That's a small little one who belong to her, and the other kids you can see sitting that side belong to that woman, which is.
You have lots of lovely children. Yes. Does the government help support your people here?
Well, they didn't had any help from the government, and they're working for their own. Somebody from Ministry of Social, they will come for to help them, and they're still waiting. They don't know
So
when
you've
we
never had any assistance?
No. يلا عاد ناكل. يلا.
What I learned is that even though the Bedouins are not materially well off, they're some of the most generous people you can find. The Bedouins believe the desert is unforgiving, so that man has to be forgiving. Oman is supposed to be the poorest of the Gulf states, and yet it looks like really quite a rich country. The people of Oman are very passionate about their sultan, and I think with good reason. When we think of the Gulf states, we think of wealth and oil. Yet behind all of this, there are people of many traditions and cultures. So it was an opportunity to get to know the people better. I saw sights I could never have imagined in a desert country. It's been a real learning experience.